What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching Tru Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3, and we are back once again with our final top 10 list for our year-end videos. This time, we're doing a special one. The top 10 best moments of 2025. And of course, to break it all down, you know I don't need just about anyone. I don't need anyone at all, actually. I can do it myself. Like Thanos said, I just do it myself. Let's talk about the top 10 best moments of the past 12 months. It is a new year. It is 2026. But we would be missed if we didn't look back at all of the great moments that went down in the world of professional wrestling across the whole landscape, whether it be in America, whether it be in the UK or Japan or Mexico. There were so many great moments in 2025. 2025 will be remembered for years to come. So it is best that we look back and take a look at everything that went down in the year of 2025 with our best moments of the year. We appreciate you if you're joining us for the premiere. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand and want to recap and reminisce about 2025. Show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on the video. Share the video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, you can hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We're always pretty much posting content daily here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. It could be a pre-recorded video just like this. It could be a live stream where we're reviewing or giving you a post show to some of the big events going down in the world of professional wrestling. So it is a great time to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified so you always know when we have some content here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. But most of all, we want to keep the conversation going. We want to hear from you. And we want to hear your list of the best moments of 2025 in the comments down below. Let us know. Let's keep the conversation going there. If you're watching us on the premiere, you can do it in the live chat as well. 2025 had so many great moments and so many kind of honorable mentions that we had on our list. Multiple people voting for different things, people voting for stuff very high on the list. So we're going to try to get a lot of these honorable mentions in. First up, we got to tell you how we got to these votes, how we made our list, our top 10 list. As always, with the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, with our year-end list, we go to each and every member of our team and a couple of friends of the channel, whether it be a special guest, whether it be someone from the wrestling media world. We try to get a lot of entries, a lot of votes to get our list here that we do for the year end. And we got a top 5 from each and every person of the best moments of 2025, with their first place getting 5 points, their second place getting 4 points, their third place getting 3 points, their fourth place getting 2 points, and their fifth place getting 1 point. We accumulate all the votes, we accumulate all the points, and that is how we break it down. The one with the most points is at top. We will let you know how many points each of these entries got. We will let you know how many votes and how many first place votes each of the entries got. Now, let's list these. Let's look at these honorable mentions. First up, we got AEW Double or Nothing with the Anarchy in the Arena, bodies hitting the floor specifically. That got 2 votes with 3 points overall. Naomi's Cash-In from WWE Evolution got 3 points on 3 votes overall. You have Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns and CM Punk and aligning with Seth Rollins from WrestleMania 41. That got 2 votes on 3 points overall. Mercedes Moné winning 13 titles got 3 points on 2 votes overall. And a couple of other ones that just got 1 vote but did get a couple of points that we should mention. We got, first up, Will Ospreay versus Hangman Page from AEW Double or Nothing. You got John Cena winning the Intercontinental Championship. The recent one, Carmelo Hayes finally getting the gold and winning the United States Championship got a vote. Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, the Women's Blood and Guts matchup, Sky Blue with the Muta scale mask, yelling, "This is my match," as she was bleeding, pouring out blood. Tony Storm revealing that she hasn't forgotten, and the rise of Javon Evans. All got one vote overall, but very high votes. So we should mention those. So give you a few honorable mentions for you to look back and reminisce about. But let's, without further ado, get into the top 10. Coming in at number 10 on 2 votes overall with 5 points overall, we have AJ Styles returning to TNA. Something that hasn't been said or hasn't been done since 2014 when AJ Styles left the company. He was basically exiled from TNA. He had not come back to TNA. He went to New Japan Pro Wrestling and started up the Bullet Club and took the world by storm over there. But he then went to WWE and has spent the last 10 years with WWE. But Slammiversary was a big show, one of the biggest shows in TNA history. And with this new partnership with WWE, we were able to get the GOAT of TNA wrestling back in the promotion. And he didn't waste any time. He basically used this opportunity to endorse one of the current talent, having a great moment with Leon Slater, calling him the future of the company, calling him the future of the X Division, right after Leon Slater became the youngest ever X Division champion at 21 years old. This was a healing moment for a lot of TNA fans who always wanted to see AJ Styles back in the company, and they got to see it. Special moment with Leon Slater, him giving him the rub. This is what it was all about. It was all about the fans. Over, I think it was like 7,000 in attendance at the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York, and they saw the phenomenal, and we got to hear, we are higher than I, we are higher than I am. That theme song always slaps. Coming in at number 10, AJ Styles returning to TNA at Slammiversary. So this one comes in with the same amount of points, but we gave it the edge and put it up at number 9 because it had one more vote. 3 votes overall on 5 points overall. Coming in at number 9, it is Mystico's Grand Slam Mexico entrance. Mystico getting his grand entrance with his memorable and legendary theme song that was made after in the music video and everything. And to hear the fans in Arena Mexico belting out that theme song on national cable television, on TBS. Grand Slam Mexico was one of the most memorable shows of the year for AEW. Their first time in the Cathedral of Lucha Libre with Arena Mexico. You had Mystico going one-on-one with MJF. MJF being the stalked American who was demoning Lucha Libre, demoning the Mexican people, and the hero, the god of Lucha Libre. Mystico coming out with this just roar of the crowd. Like, we've heard people sing the entrance theme of certain people, whether it be Cody Rhodes in WWE, whether in AEW, they've had it before with Judas, they've had it before with Adam Copeland, and those have all been great moments. I don't think there's been anything like seeing these people cry as they sing the theme song for Mystico. And if you watch CMLL Espectacular, Espectacular, or Super Venice every Friday on the CMLL YouTube channel, you have to basically hear like this dubbed over theme song that they put over this theme song because they don't have the rights to play it on their own YouTube channel. But Tony Khan balled out as usual and got it to be played in its entirety in Arena Mexico. It was such a beautiful moment. A really good matchup with MJF that kickstarted a rivalry that really defined Mystico and MJF's to a lesser extent year in 2025. It was such a great moment, and it's a moment that Mystico seems to want to recreate in America, but it's nothing like it is in Arena Mexico. Those people just adore this man. He is a god of Lucha Libre, and we got to see the god come out with the people singing in unison to how much they care and love for this man. It was such a beautiful moment. Number 9 on our list, Mystico's Grand Slam Mexico entrance. Now we go up by 1 point, coming in at number 8 on our list with 6 points overall on 2 votes overall. It is Seth freaking Rollins cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on CM Punk at SummerSlam, or as WWE dubbed it, the ruse of the century. Back at the July 12th WWE Saturday Night's main event, Seth Rollins faced LA Knight. During the matchup, he went for an acai moonsault or lion salt, where he landed on his foot. He sold the injury, like he popped his knee and he had some difficulty standing up. He went on to lose that matchup, and he was out for over a month with the injury. There was reports that this was a fake injury to set this up, but WWE persisted. They had Seth Rollins, go out with his family and wear boots and come out and on different shows and say that he was injured and that he was going to be out for a while, all to set up this moment at SummerSlam after his arch nemesis CM Punk won the World Heavyweight Championship from Gunther. Seth Rollins comes out with the crutches alongside Paul Heyman. He then drops the crutches, reveals that he is not injured at all. He grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase. CM Punk, who had went through a war with Gunther, tried to fight him off, but Seth was able to persist, hit him with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He then cashed it in, delivered the curb stomp, heard around the world, and 1, 2, 3, Seth freaking Rollins was the new World Heavyweight Champion in the ruse of the century, driving up more heat with him and CM Punk and creating a great moment that capped off the first night of the 2-night SummerSlam event. Seth Rollins alongside The Vision got to celebrate to close the show. Unfortunately, this title reign did not last too long because Seth eventually did get injured for real, but it doesn't deny that this moment was one of the signature moments of the year for WWE. So very worthy of being here at number 8 on our list, the Seth Rollins cash-in from SummerSlam. Now, coming in at number 7 on our list, we're going up quite a few with 4 votes overall on 13 points overall. We have Hiroki Goto winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at the New Beginning in Osaka. It was a great journey for Hiroki Goto. He went 0-8 in world title matches throughout his career. Hiroki Goto had gained the reputation of being always the bridesmaid, but never the bride. Despite getting multiple attempts at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Hiroki Goto had never won the title. Then he won the New Japan Rambo in January at the Wrestle Kingdom event that basically punched his ticket to get an opportunity at the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, whoever walked out the Tokyo Dome with the title, which was Zack Sabre Jr. And this set up a grand finale, a grand main event for a New Beginning in Osaka, with the world kind of rooting and the fans in Osaka rooting for Hiroki Goto to finally win the big one. And this was an epic encounter. Both men just have superb chemistry together and just ebbed and flow. The fighting spirit of Hiroki Goto, the skill and precision, the submission specialist that is Zack Sabre Jr., putting Hiroki Goto in so many different holds, looking like he was going to get the victory, but Hiroki Goto persisted. He showed resilience, he showed resolve, and he showed a fighting spirit unlike any other, hitting the GTR, the arm trapped GTR, for the victory to finally win the big one and finally win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. To add the cherry on top of this, Hiroki Goto then went on to have one of the greatest IWGP World Heavyweight Championship runs in the title short history. This title's only been around for about 5 years or 4.5 years, and yeah, it needed someone like this, Hiroki Goto, to kind of match the energy that we saw from Shingo Takagi back in 2021. So just to have this moment that will stand in the memory of so many fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling, so many fans around the world who saw Hiroki Goto as that person who never was able to get over that hump, to see him be able to do it, to see him, celebrate with his kids. It was such an emotional moment, such a wholesome moment to see someone who fought so hard to finally get the big one and finally reach the mountaintop of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hiroki Goto, well deserving of being on our best moments list here, and he comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6 on our list, we have another New Japan Pro Wrestling moment. Coming in at number 6 with 4 votes overall on 13 points overall. So the same as Hiroki Goto, but this one we gave the tiebreaker because this one did have 1 first place vote. It is Konosuke Takeshita winning the G1 Climax tournament. Konosuke Takeshita has been one of the best wrestlers in the world for so long, but he had never kind of won that big one. He's won the AEW International Championship. He's held pretty much every single title in DDT Pro, but him coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling was really seen as like a coming of age story when he came over in 2024 and was part of the G1 Climax 34 tournament, and he was the MVP of that tournament. This tournament, the D1 Climax 35, he had some great matches, but he wasn't particularly like the standout performer or anything. And he was still contracted by All Elite Wrestling, so not a lot of people thought he would win this tournament. But he made it to the finals, going against the King of Darkness, Evil. And Evil is not known for having great matches, but boy, oh boy, did he have one of the best matches of his damn career on this night. Showing the fighting spirit, having the fans rally behind him against the outsider that was Takeshita. But Takeshita was not deterred. He fought tooth and nail, fought off the House of Torture, fought off Evil, showed his fighting spirit, and hit every big move he can possibly hit. The power drive knee, the blue thunder bomb, and then finally the raging fire. And 1, 2, 3, Konosuke Takeshita made history, becoming the first AEW and DDT contracted superstar to win the G1 Climax tournament. And yes, I call him a superstar because Konosuke Takeshita on this night was a damn superstar. He proved himself, won the biggest tournament in all of pro wrestling, and showed that he was ready for the top spot in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which he would parlay just a few months later by winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Konosuke Takeshita, reaching the mountaintop, comes in at number 6 on our list. We're going to stick over in Japan as we enter the top 5. Coming in at number 5 on our list with the same amount of points, 13 points, but 1 vote more, 5 votes overall, including 1 first place vote. We have Tam Nakano retiring. Lights out on Tam Nakano's career. It was the main event of Stardom, All-Star Grand Queendom, the biggest event in the history of Stardom, in front of the biggest crowd ever in Yokohama Arena. And the main event was career versus career. Tam Nakano going up against the World of Stardom champion, Saya Kamitani, a rivalry that has been years in the making, and it all came down to this. After Saya Kamitani beat her in a title versus career matchup, she made the challenge and she wanted one more fight with Tam Nakano to put her to rest once and for all on the biggest stage ever in Stardom. And Saya was able to do just that, using Tam Nakano's own move to put her away, get the 1, 2, 3 to retain the World of Stardom Championship and to keep her career alive. Tam Nakano calling it a career once and for all, while Saya Kamitani sat on the mountaintop as the biggest star in all of Joshi Wrestling and Wonder of Stardom. But the moment was all about the post-match, where the two women emotionally talked to one another, telling them how much they meant in their career. Saya Kamitani with tears running down her face, saying that Tam Nakano pushed her and made her into the star that she is today. Tam Nakano thanking Saya Kamitani for always showing her the fight that made her want to get into the world of professional wrestling. The two women sharing a beautiful, touching moment, to the point that Saya Kamitani was the top heel in Stardom. She showed the same Saya that we grew to love as a babyface, showing the emotion that has made her into the star that she is today, and then walking off together, walking up the ramp, battered from the battle that they've been in. As they sat on top of the ramp, Tam Nakano said goodbyes to the fans, and said goodbye to professional wrestling, pointing to the sky as snowflakes came down, and then the screen faded to black. And then when the lights came back on, Saya and Tam were nowhere to be found. When you talk about cinema, this was cinema. I don't use that word quite often, but in this case, it is very, very accurate. This was all about the production. This was all about the moment, saying goodbye in the way that Tam Nakano has always been. She's always been about the dramatics and the over-the-top nature, the beauty, the essence, the pageantry of professional wrestling. You had it all in this final moment for Tam Nakano, one of the all-time greats in Stardom history, two-time World of Stardom champion, an icon when it comes to Joshi wrestling. Tam Nakano's career will be remembered for years to come, but no one will ever forget the way she said goodbye. Lights out on Tam Nakano, coming in at number 5 on our list. We move on back on over to the States, coming in at number 4 on our list with 5 votes overall and 1 first place vote, but 18 votes overall on this one. It is John Cena's final matchup. John Cena's retirement, what the whole year of 2025 was building to for WWE. WWE Saturday Night's main event on December 13th. The winner of the Last Time Is Now tournament, Gunther, going up against the never-seen 17-time world champion, John Cena, in this epic battle that was tooth and nail, and a great kind of definition of what John Cena is all about: the fighting spirit, fighting from underneath, never give up, the fan chanting, don't give up, as he was in a sleeper hold for pretty much the final 5 minutes of the matchup. And when he couldn't find any other way to get out, he smiled and he tapped out, closing the book on his career, tapping out, submitting for the first time in 20 years. Gunther had beaten John Cena. We got the moment to say goodbye. The fans in Washington, D.C. getting, booing at first because they were not happy with the fact that Cena lost this matchup. But John having his moment to kind of be in the sunset, got that last ride out. Fans, the locker room emptying, going around the ring, clapping for him, saying goodbye to Cena, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk, handing him both the undisputed WWE Championship and World Heavyweight Championship so he can hold it up. The video package that was beautiful with comments from Cena's parents and this man, Cena, saluting the crowd multiple times to say goodbye and then leaving his gear and his sneakers in the middle of the ring. It might have not been the best road to get here, but the way they did the retirement ceremony following and the retirement matchup was great. It was great. Despite the reaction from the fans and the reaction to a certain booker, Cena got a proper send-off for an all-time great, the 17-time world champion. It's unfortunate that the road there didn't work too well, but the moment itself in the last matchup, great stuff from everybody involved. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we're getting a big jump up here to 9 votes overall, 2 first place votes on 27 points overall. So a big jump up, 9 points more than our previous entry at number 4. Coming in at number 3 on our list, it is John Cena's heel turn. So you go from one juxtaposition to probably the moment that will be remembered the most out of the entire John Cena retirement tour, even more than the retirement match itself, is WWE pulling the trigger on one of the riskiest moves they've ever done. John Cena turning heel. The white whale of professional wrestling finally happened on March 1st at WWE Elimination Chamber. John Cena defeated CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre in the Elimination Chamber match to gain entry, punch his ticket for a main event matchup against undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. Cody comes out to celebrate, shake hands with Cena, get ready for that match, point to the sign as they always do. But Cody had something else to deal with. The Rock wanted Cody to sell his soul to him. so he can have all the riches, everything he's ever wished for, everything he's ever wanted. Cody chose to say, go fuck yourself to The Rock. While John Cena laughed and celebrated, he hugged and shook hands with Cody, but then he made the look. He looked over to The Rock, who gave him the slit throat reaction, and then when their embrace ended, Cena swiftly kicked Cody right in the nutsack, right in the ball sack, laid him out, punched him, brutalized him, used Cody's father's Rolex to punch him in the face, bust him open. Alongside Travis Scott and The Rock, they beat him down over and over and over again. Beat him down, whipping him with a belt that said that was for Cody. Beating him repeatedly. Travis Scott punching him right in the eye, giving him a busted eye socket. This was brutal. This was memorable. And this was a moment that no one will ever forget. One of the most viral moments in WWE history as John Cena turned heel for the first time in 20 years, standing next to a Grammy Award winner, a Hollywood megastar, and him himself, a Hollywood megastar. John Cena turning heel will never be forgotten. It's one of the biggest heel turns ever, regardless about the follow-up. And it comes in at number 3 on our list. And now we enter the top 2 on our list. Coming in at number 2, slightly up from Cena, coming in at number 3 with 3 points overall. But the same amount of votes, same amount of first place votes, 9 votes overall on 2 first place votes. Coming in at number 2 is AJ Lee's return. AJ Lee, another kind of white whale in the world of professional wrestling, was AJ Lee, who retired from in-ring competition at the WWE back in 2015. Some people thought she would never step foot back in the wrestling ring again. CM Punk, of course, her husband, he returned in 2023 following his stint in AEW, and a lot of people thought that the door had been slightly cracked. Then rumors started to speculate or circulate after Becky Lynch joined forces with CM Punk's enemy. So with Seth Rollins aligning with his wife, Becky Lynch, it led to a lot of rumors starting to speculate, reports starting to come out that AJ Lee could come back to set up a huge mixed tag team matchup with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. We saw an interaction between Becky and CM Punk, which led to SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois, CM Punk's hometown and the place where he lives with AJ Lee, and it happened. After a confrontation with Becky Lynch, CM Punk said that he had someone who could put her hands on Becky Lynch, unlike him, and of course, it was his wife, a former WWE Divas champion, one of the most iconic names in women's wrestling over the last 20 years. AJ Lee. For the first time in a decade, AJ Lee was back in WWE, and she took it right to Becky Lynch. Beat her down, showed that fire, showed that crazy that made her one of the most memorable female characters to ever step foot in WWE. One of the pioneers of the women's revolution, who got more TV time for women on television back in the early to mid 2010s. She was back in WWE and a much different WWE, where the women were doing much more, and she got to interact with one of the greatest. In fact, if you ask me, and you ask Sports Illustrated, not just me saying it, Sports Illustrated saying it, Bleacher Report saying it, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. They brawled for a bit, but the crowd went crazy for AJ Lee. One of the loudest pops you will ever hear for any return, and AJ Lee back in WWE just felt like a breath of fresh air to see her back and so healthy and smiling and being able to interact with the CM Punk, being able to be back in WWE. She can interact with the revolution that she kind of started. She set the bridge, she set the path, a trailblazer in every sense of the word, excuse me. AJ Lee being back in WWE was such a great, happy moment for all of wrestling fans. So many fans that grew up on AJ Lee that she inspired, so many wrestlers that she was able to inspire, and now she was back in the WWE, able to share this moment with CM Punk in front of a raucous Chicago crowd and being able to set up the biggest mixed tag team matchup of all time at WrestlePalooza. AJ Lee back in WWE in September of 2025 is well deserving to be on our list, and it's very high up at number 2 on our list. So you've heard it all, from returns to title wins to big tournament victories to memorable entrances. We've had it all, and now we cap it off with the number one best moment of the year of 2025, as voted on by our team here at Tru Heel Heat and our friends. Coming in at number 1 with 12 votes overall, including 8 first place votes. 12 out of 12 votes, 8 of them were first place votes. So no surprise that we had at number 2, 30 points, AJ Lee's return. This is a big jump up to 53 votes overall. It is Hangman Adam Page winning the AEW World Championship, freeing it from the Death Riders' grip, all in Texas. AEW had built to this moment beautifully, where it seemed like 2 stories were culminating all at the same time, all in this one match, a Texas death match between Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. You had the Hangman redemption arc, where he went to the depths of madness and craze, burning down the house of Swerve Strickland to get his revenge on him, putting a syringe in his mouth and blasting him across the head with a steel chair. He came into 2025 and he retired his mentor, Christopher Daniels, which kind of flipped the switch to Hangman. His rivalry with MJF made him realize that the fans had pretty much forgiven him and cheering for him against MJF. He wanted to prove the fans right, prove himself to not only that, he wanted to prove himself to be the best. He entered himself into the Owen Hart Cup. He won the Owen Hart Cup tournament. He goes on to face Jon Moxley at All In Texas, where all of his stories were culminating. His rivalry with Swerve Strickland that took him to change, that made him change into a person that he did not like anymore. But they had the conversation before All In Texas where they said they had to push all of that aside. They had to come together for the one goal of freeing the AEW World Championship, to saving this company. And we got a moment between them where Swerve Strickland came out and he got his own redemption by handing Hangman Adam Page the chain that would change his life and give him the biggest victory of his career. The Death Riders' reign of terror lasted over 10 months when they put the plastic bag over the head of Bryan Danielson, going from the Blackpool Combat Club to the Death Riders, to Jon Moxley ending the career of Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream, to Bryan Danielson showing up in this instant as Blue Panther to fight off the Death Riders and make it a one-on-one matchup. Darby Allin coming down from Mount Everest and coming down and fighting off the Death Riders with Bryan, taking them out of the picture. Will Ospreay tried to fight them off and got his neck broken along the way, but it came down to Hangman and Jon Moxley. A buckshot lariat on a bed of nails, and then grabbing the chain, wrapping around Moxley's neck, pulling back until Moxley panicked, and his sense of urgency, he was frantic as he finally tapped out. And then the moment happened. After 10 months of the AEW World Championship being locked in a briefcase, Hangman Adam Page was able to finally open the briefcase after a struggle, and the fans in Arlington, Texas went absolutely crazy when he let them see the most beautiful title in all of professional wrestling today. The AEW World Championship was finally free from the Death Riders' prison, from the briefcase, and they cheered just the sight of the AEW World Championship, making all of the sacrifices to make the Death Rider story work, feel worthwhile, to redeem Hangman, to complete this redemption arc that was like 2 years in the making. Hangman Adam Page winning the AEW World Championship for the first time in 3 years, really a 3-year story of his redemption from his first reign to now, to his reconciliation with Swerve Strickland after everything they did, involving their families, brutalizing one another, almost killing one another, burning down houses. Hangman won the big one, while Swerve was able to smile and feel some type of satisfaction seeing his arch nemesis get the job done. Hangman Adam Page had a scream of adulation, a scream of relief, but the redemption was complete. Hangman Adam Page had reached the mountaintop once again. He had won the AEW World Championship and saved the entire company. This was not only a redemption for Hangman, not only a redemption for Swerve Strickland, this was a redemption for the company that had gone through their struggles, their ups and downs over the last 3 years. But they finally had their biggest moment yet in front of their biggest crowd in the United States, all in Texas, was the greatest payoff in AEW's short history. And Hangman Adam Page winning the AEW World Championship in the main event of All In Texas is number 1 on our list for the top 10 best moments of 2025. That is our list of the top 10 best moments of 2025, but might not be your list. That is our list. That is our opinion. But let us know yours in the comments down below. Do you think that we got our list right? Let us know there. If you think we got something wrong or we're missing something that should have made the top 10 of best moments of 2025, let us know in the comments down below, and let's keep the conversation going there, and let's reminisce together about the year that was 2025. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. Remember to drop a like on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you are new. Our year-end content comes to a close with this video here, but if you want a little bit extra, become a Patreon member, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, or a member of the channel by hitting the join button for just $1 a month over at Patreon, just $3 a month, and you get exclusive content. And we got one more year-end list for our Patreon backers and members of the channel, the top 10 worst matches of 2025. And if you haven't already, check out all the great lists that we have on the channel with our best matches of the year, our best men's wrestler of the year, and best women's wrestler of the year list. Those are up on the channel right now, so check those out, and I'll be back with some more. Later this week, we got our NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 20 review, breaking down all the action from the first big show of the year. We got AE Ramble, we got Rated World Review, we got the flagship podcast, we got THH Cuts, THH Hot Takes. There's so much to enjoy here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, and we want you all to have a splendid and blessed Happy New Year. Let's make 2026 the biggest year ever for Tru Heel Heat, as we are on the road to 30,000 subscribers. So tell a friend to hit the subscribe button and join us for all that we do here with consistent content on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. But until next time, it is me, Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and this has been THH Top 10 Best Moments of 2025. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenoms, SP3, signing off. Until next time.